What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for the Serie A finale. Thank you so much to everyone who has enjoyed the Serie A prediction videos this year. I've loved it, and as you guys know, out of the 5 leagues I do, Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga, Premier League, and Champions League, Serie A has my highest hit rate of correct score predictions. We had more last week, and it is the final week. The decider as to who wins the league, it's still on. The decider as to who gets Champions League, it's still on. And the decider as to who gets relegated, it is still on. So be sure to drop your predictions down in the comments below. If you don't want to do correct scores, just tell me who's winning the league, who's getting Champions League, and who's getting relegated. Let me know in the comments. Real quick, flashing up on the screen are all of the people that have supported me over on the Patreon. If you want to get access to exclusive members tips and accumulators, we did have a massive 70-1 correct score double come in from the Premier League just recently. So if you want to get involved with that and get a shout out in every single video, you'd also be supporting me on this journey, then click that top link in the description to head over to the Patreon, because while the videos may end for a little bit as the season does, there will be stuff going on over there with Nation League and everything else like that. But the first game, it is a big one. It's Como up against Inter Milan. Como can sort of finish, well, they're going to finish as best of the rest. You've got the top 9 here who are far and above better than these bottom 11. It really is. Any of these 9 you could see getting, European football from the start of the season, and you would not expect any of these 11 to get there. So the Serie A table really does reflect the better teams, with the 10-point gap between, 11-point gap between 9th and 10th place, and everyone else a lot more closely like packed. You've got AC Milan. They are 7 points off of 4th and 11 points ahead of 10th. So it really is best of the rest for Como, thanks to this brilliant recent run of form. I think where Inter Milan need to win to be in with a chance to win. I mean, this draw here against Lazio is not... It's a bad result in the context of the league, but you wouldn't expect Napoli to drop points against Parma. So that draw turned out to be potentially season and title defining. Obviously, Inter still have the Champions League final to look forward to, so it's not all over. But I do think they win here against Como 2-1, and the tip is going to be Inter Milan to win at 1.65. After this, it is Napoli up against Cagliari. Napoli drawing twice against Genoa and Parma. I mean, a real stumble. They managed to get loads of wins together as Inter were losing here to get them to the top of the league, and then they can't win. Do they draw against Cagliari? Because if Inter do beat Como and Napoli draw to Cagliari, then Inter win the Serie A. However, I think Napoli are just going to get over the line. I'm going to say 2-0, but the odds are pretty terrible for a Napoli win at 1.2, so the tip is going to be Napoli to win and under 3.5 goals at 2, which of course sees Napoli win the league. Following that, we have Bologna up against Genoa. I think Bologna win this one. Genoa have nothing to play for. Bologna, they want to try and push up the table, see if they can get some form of European football here. I'm going to say 2-0. And again, like Napoli, the tip is going to be Bologna to win and under 3.5 goals at 2.25. After this, it's AC Milan up against Monza. I'm not even sure, really, if AC Milan can get any form of European football. I mean, if Bologna and Fiorentina lose, does that mean they get Conference League? I'm not entirely sure, because I think it's Europa League, Conference League. Either way, I think AC Milan are going to end the season on a high. I'm going to say 4-0. Monza relegated already into the shadow realm. So 4-0 to AC Milan. The tip is AC Milan -1 handicap at 1.61. The odds are pretty low, but it allows for a subpar 2-0 win for the home side. After this, it's Atalanta up against Parma. Parma, do they need a point in theory? I mean, Empoli and Lecce don't play each other, so if Empoli and Lecce do win and Parma lose, Parma get relegated. But even though Atalanta have nothing to play for, I still think they'll be good enough to win. So I'm going to say 3-1, and the tip is Atalanta to win at 1.8. Parma got a good draw against Napoli, but away in Bergamo, it's tough. So I'm going to say Atalanta get their 4th win on the spin. And who knows? Maybe Parma get relegated after stopping potentially Napoli winning the league if Napoli go and drop points again. But after this, it is Empoli up against Hellas Verona. Do I see Parma getting relegated with an Empoli and a Lecce win? I don't. Verona, they can't go down. I think Empoli, can they? I don't know. They're on 34 points. There's no way they go down. I mean, Parma, Empoli and Lecce could all win, but I don't even know. I think this is going to be a draw. I think they're going to struggle to get over the line, Empoli. They are favourites. I understand why. I'm going to say 1-1. The tip is both teams to score at 2.05. Something just is a bit of a gut feeling that tells me Empoli won't be able to get the win here. But it should be enough if they get a point, because we have Lazio up against Lecce. I don't think Lecce win against Lazio. Lazio are pushing for Champions League. if they get a win. So I think they're going to get that win, and I'm going to say 2-1. And because I think Lecce will put up a fight, if they get a win, chances are they could stay up. So it's going to be huge. So I think they can get a goal, and that means my tip is going to be Lazio to win and both teams to score at 3.5. After this, we have Torino up against Roma. Roma, a win would give them a chance to get to Champions League. A win would guarantee them Europa League at the very least. I think they get the win. I'm going to say 2-0. And the tip is Roma to win at 1.57. Following that, we have Udinese up against Fiorentina. Again, I think Fiorentina win. I don't know if they get European football in 7th, to be honest, but I do think they get a win. Give themselves maybe a teeny tiny chance. 2-1 to Fiorentina rather. And the tip is Fiorentina to win at 1.95. And finally, Venezia up against Juventus. If Venezia win and Empoli and Lecce lose, then Venezia stay up on the final day at home. I would love it. It would be a real fairy tale story. However, if Juventus lose this game, odds are they don't get Champions League football. And as much as the spirit of Venezia will be there in that ground to win, and because I think if Venezia win, they stay up. I think. I mean, unless Empoli, I don't know. They have a decent chance if they do win, but it's not going to happen. 2-0 to Juventus. The tip is Juventus to win at 1.6. And that sees Napoli win the league. It sees, well, I mean, everyone here. I've got everyone in the top 9 to win. Napoli to win, Inter to win, Atalanta to win, Juve to win, Roma to win, Lazio to win, Fiorentina to win, Bologna to win, AC Milan to win. So everyone there to win, and then we've got a draw there with Empoli, and then everyone else at the bottom to lose. So I do think it will be a tale of two halves. We had this a few weeks ago. I said I could see everyone in the top half of the table winning, and it happened. And I just think on the final day, when the chips are down, the better teams are going to come through because there's no top of the league matchups. And I think the top half will show why they're the top half and get the win. So here is a quick summary of the picks. As I said, we've got a lot of wins for the top half of the table and then that draw for Empoli. But it does see Lecce and Venezia go down. And of course, Napoli to win the league. So that does it for Serie A predictions 24-25. If you did enjoy it, please do drop a like, and hopefully we can continue this going on into the next season. But that is going to do it from me, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.